There is something quietly powerful about a person who can sit in pure silence. No phone, no music, no noise, no scrolling, no distraction, no need to escape themselves. Most people cannot do this for even 5 full minutes without feeling restless or strangely uncomfortable. They reach for something, anything, just to avoid the empty space inside their own mind. Psychology suggests only a small percentage of people can truly enjoy being bored without anxiety. Researchers often estimate this group at around 2% of the general adult population worldwide. That number sounds small, but it reveals something deeper about how modern minds actually function. Boredom is not weakness, and it is not laziness, and it is not emptiness either. Boredom is a quiet doorway into yourself, and most people slam it shut immediately. You feel a small pause, and instantly your hand reaches for the nearest screen nearby. That reflex is not random behavior. It is a trained nervous system avoiding internal stillness. Your brain has learned that silence feels uncomfortable, so it treats stillness like a small threat. Every notification, swipe, and scroll trains you to fear the quiet space between thoughts. Over time, you stop noticing how rarely you actually sit alone with your own mind. You think you are relaxing, but you're really just consuming noise to avoid yourself. The 2% who enjoy boredom have something most people secretly lost a long time ago. They have a calm relationship with their own inner world, even when nothing is happening. They do not need constant input to feel okay, grounded, interesting, or emotionally safe. Psychologists call this internal regulation, and this is one of the rarest skills in modern life. It means your nervous system can settle without external stimulation pulling you back into balance. Most people cannot do this because their attention has been shaped by years of fast feedback. Every app rewards them instantly, and slowness now feels like something is secretly going wrong. So boredom feels threatening, when in truth it is one of the healthiest mental states possible. Here's what is really happening when you feel bored and immediately reach for your phone. Your mind is not lacking entertainment. Your mind is uncomfortable being alone with itself quietly. That discomfort is not a flaw. It is a signal pointing towards something deeper inside you. Unprocessed feelings, quiet anxieties, unspoken thoughts, and small tensions all rise up in still moments. Most people run from this because facing it feels heavier than scrolling through endless content feeds. But the 2% learn to stay. They let the discomfort rise, and then it passes. That single skill changes everything, because emotions only stay loud when you refuse to feel them. When you allow boredom, your mind slowly reorganizes itself in ways that constant stimulation never allows. Old thoughts settle, creative ideas appear, and clarity returns without you forcing anything to happen. This is why some of your best ideas come in the shower, on walks, or driving. Your mind finally has space, and space is where insight, intuition, and self-awareness quietly grow. People who fear boredom often fear themselves without realizing that is what is truly happening underneath. They stay busy not because they love productivity, but because stillness reveals what they avoid. This is not weakness, it is simply a pattern, and patterns can always be gently rewired. You are not broken for struggling with stillness. You were trained into restlessness by a loud world. Almost everyone around you is overstimulated, distracted, anxious, and silently exhausted from constant mental input. So if you feel that way too, you are not strange. You are responding to your environment. But the 2% decided something different. They decided to reclaim their attention from the noise. They started small, with a few quiet minutes a day, doing absolutely nothing on purpose. No phone, no podcast, no music, no productivity, no scrolling, no escaping into another person's thoughts. Just sitting, breathing, noticing, and allowing the mind to slow down without forcing anything to happen. At first, this feels almost unbearable because the nervous system is used to constant emotional input. But after a few days, something shifts. The silence stops feeling threatening and starts feeling spacious. You begin to hear your own thoughts again, not the noise of everyone else's opinions and content. You begin to feel your own emotions clearly, instead of the borrowed feelings from your endless feed. You begin to notice subtle things, like tension in your body or quiet patterns in your behavior. This is where real self-awareness begins, and self-awareness is the foundation of every meaningful life change. Without it, you keep reacting. With it, you start choosing, responding, and living with deeper intention. The ability to enjoy boredom is secretly the ability to be at peace with your own existence. That is why so few people can do it, and why those who can seem unusually grounded. They are not chasing constant excitement. They are not afraid of quiet moments. They are simply present. Presence is the rarest emotional skill in a world built to keep your attention permanently fragmented. Every platform competes for your focus, and most people lose this war without ever realizing it. You wake up, check your phone, scroll, react, and your nervous system is activated within seconds. By the time you start your real day, your mind is already overstimulated and emotionally scattered. Then boredom feels intolerable because your baseline has been pushed far above natural calm levels. This is not your fault, but it is your responsibility once you understand the pattern clearly. Here's the practical shift that quietly separates the 2% from everyone else around them. They learn to treat boredom as information, not as a problem they urgently need to solve. When boredom appears, they pause and ask themselves what their mind is actually trying to communicate. Sometimes it is tiredness, sometimes it is loneliness, sometimes it is unprocessed emotion asking for gentle attention. Sometimes it is simply the mind needing rest after hours of input, decisions, and emotional output. Instead of running, they listen. That single habit transforms boredom from an enemy into a quiet teacher. You can do this too, starting with just a few honest minutes of stillness each day. You do not need meditation apps, complicated techniques, breathing exercises, or perfect silence to begin properly. You only need willingness to sit with yourself without escaping the moment through another digital distraction. At first, your mind will resist. It will feel restless, itchy, anxious, and strangely uncomfortable inside. That is normal. That is the nervous system recalibrating after years of constant overstimulation and fast input. Stay with it. Breathe. Notice. Do not judge yourself for struggling. Everyone struggles at the beginning. Over time, something quietly shifts. You stop fearing empty moments. You start enjoying the space inside them. You realize boredom is not the absence of something. It is the presence of yourself without distraction. And that presence is where confidence, clarity, creativity, and emotional stability slowly begin to grow naturally. People who enjoy boredom tend to be more self-aware, more grounded, and less dependent on external validation. They do not need constant attention because they are not running from themselves in the first place. They are not chasing reassurance because their inner world feels safe enough to sit with quietly. This is the deeper psychology behind it all, and it changes everything once you truly understand it. You are not bored because life is empty. You are bored because your mind is overstimulated. Lower the noise and life becomes interesting again, even in the smallest, simplest, quietest possible moments. A cup of coffee becomes pleasant. A short walk becomes meaningful. A quiet morning becomes deeply restorative. Nothing changed outside. Everything changed inside because your attention finally returned to where you actually live. This is the hidden gift the 2% already discovered, and it is fully available to you. You do not need to be special, gifted, spiritual, disciplined, or unusual to develop this quiet skill. You only need to stop running from stillness and start treating boredom as something worth respecting. Notice the urge to escape. Pause for one breath before reaching for your phone or distraction. That tiny pause is the doorway. Most people never take it. The 2% take it daily. Over weeks, that small pause becomes a habit. Over months, that habit becomes a calmer nervous system. Over time, that calmer nervous system becomes a different relationship with yourself, your life, and your attention. You start feeling like you again, not the version constantly reacting to every notification and external pull. You start trusting yourself more, because you finally know what you actually think when no one interrupts. You start choosing your life more clearly, because your mind is no longer drowning in borrowed noise. This is what enjoying boredom really gives you, and it is far more valuable than entertainment ever could. It gives you back your own mind, your own time, your own focus, and your own quiet presence. So the next time you feel that restless pull towards your phone, pause for just one moment. Notice what you are running from, and notice what might be waiting on the other side of stillness. You may discover that boredom was never the problem. It was simply an invitation you kept refusing. Accept it once, and something inside you begins to settle in a way nothing else ever could. That is the quiet power the 2% already know, and now you understand it clearly too. If this resonated with you, take one small quiet moment today before you scroll into another feed. And if you want more insights like this, stay close. There is always something deeper waiting here.